Auzubillahiminasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to thanks to Sir Armizi, which is my lecturer for Islamic Account, to give my group, which is group 1, to present a point from article which is Islamic Accounting, History, Development and Prospect by Amela Trockis. So before I go far, this is a student name. First is Nur Hasni binti Muhammad Sharif. Second is Nur Amira binti Ahmad Sharif. Third is Nur Izzati binti Muhammad Nur. And myself, which is Ahmad Nur Aiman binti Kamaruddin. So this is content that me and my partner from this group will present, which is first introduction, second is history of Islamic accounting, third is modern Islamic accounting, fourth is prospect of Islamic accounting, and number 5 is conclusion. So first I would like to go to my part, which is number 1, introduction. Number 1, there is significant historical evidence show the use of Islamic accounting practice as early as the time of the second Caliph Umar in the Islamic State. So from point number 1, I would like to say that there already point that Islamic account already been used in Islamic era, especially on second Caliph Umar. We can know that from as Islam, we can know from Al-Quran, Al-Hadith, and other resource that we can find. And number 2 is many achievements were destroyed over the century, making it difficult to trace the real influence of Islamic accounting on the conventional accounting practice. So after Western already take over the many Islamic country, so they already not many or been destroyed is the evidence of Islamic accounting, and they also take the knowledge from Islam, which is Islamic account, to be used in conventional accounting. So the third is there are some scholars who argue that Islamic accounting influenced the development of double entry accounting in Italy, home of the father of modern accounting. So many scholars and others people say that Western already take many knowledge from Islamic account. For example, double entry, and so on, which they already take and develop in their conventional accounting in Italy, which already many people know as home of the father of modern account. So number 4 is this does not mean that there are no issues facing its development and implementation in a modern economic system heavily influenced by Western practice. So number 4 say that although Islamic account been say and be what we call it, be researched by many scholar and other people, but is not being practiced and being destroyed with modern economy system, which is more for Western and no or not many Islamic system. Okay, that's all for me. Next, I will pass to my friend to continue his part.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. My name is Nahasni binti Mat Sharif. Idiometric is PPB 20021. We'll be presenting the second part of these journals regarding the history and developments of Islamic accounting. Okay, the picture here is Luca Pacioli. He is known as father of accounting by the modern world. And in 1494, Luca published his famous books titled Summa di Arithmetica, Geometria, Proportioni et Proportionalita. And according to the West, this book is considered as the first text or first books on accounting that ever been published. All right, next we look into the history of accounting in Islamic world, which, according to the author, can be traced back even further. This is based on two reasons. Firstly, because of the history of Arabia. From the Surah itself, we know that Kota Mecca is very famous or well known as business center locally and internationally, and its economic system more or less was relying on the trade and commerce activities. And even our beloved Prophet Muhammad SAW was a merchant himself before being appointed as Messenger of Allah. Okay, the second reason is because of the revelation of Quran. We know that the divine revelations was began around 310, so it means that Islamic accounting actually was present around 800 years before Pacioli's book. Okay, Islam is our guiding books and it guides us in every aspect of our life, including in economic transactions. And in Al-Quran itself, it gives example on how to do a proper business, what is the halal and haram thing, and also how to conduct a proper accounting activities. This is clearly stated in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 282, where Allah mentions about the importance of writings and recordings our debts and also record the business transaction. Islam stress out the importance of bookkeeping and writing system in order to ensure that all the business activity done by Muslim is actually according to Sharia law. Besides that, this bookkeeping and writing system become significantly important after the introduction of zakat in 624. We know that zakat is one of five pillars of Islam. So the proper accounting system is very important to ensure that we can calculate and paying zakat accordingly. And the formal introductions of accountants books, concept and procedure actually occurred during the time of Khalifah Umar al-Khattab. Okay, now we look into some development in Islamic accounting. As we know, accounting system was actually associated with zakat, and in the early stage, this implementations of the accounting system was done for government purpose, which to record the public treasuries, revenues, and expenses. And there are seven types of practice accounting system in the Islamic State, and this system was supported by mandatory recording procedure. And the seven types are we have stable accounting, construction accounting, rice farm accounting, warehouse accounting, mean or currency accounting. We have ship grazing accounting, and lastly, treasury accounting. Okay, next we look into the monetary recording procedure and why this procedure is very important because it helps to reduce the the risk of fraud and manipulations. And on the slide, we can see some examples of these procedures, such as transaction had to be recorded immediately, transaction had to be clarified according to the nature, receipt were recorded on the right hand side, and payment were recorded on the left hand side. This is basically the double entry system that we have today. And deleting recorded transaction was prohibited, and monthly and yearly report had to be prepared. This is same as financial statement, and yearly report were reviewed and compared to the prior year's report. So based on these examples, based on this recording procedure, we can see that some of the step or accounting procedure that we have today in the modern world actually was already implemented in the Islamic civilizations. For example, proper classifications of transactions, monthly and yearly financial statement, budgetings, and also auditing. All these steps are very important in order to ensure that the proper implementation of the complete accounting system can be done. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Izati binti Makno, and my matric number is PPB 20011. So, I would like to present my part which is modern Islamic accounting, and I would like to present history of the fall of the Islamic Red States. Okay. Colonization of Muslim-dominated countries by Western Empire left significant influence, and because of this, many majority Muslim populated countries which were not colonized, and they still had significant Western influence, which are the Ottoman Empire and Wahhabi. Okay, the first one, the Ottoman Empire. They were influenced by German accounting principles, and Wahhabi influenced by Saudi Arabia borrowed its accounting practice from the West. And another impact, another reason because of this fall, after the Second World War, the post-colonial period, Muslims around the world were left with a dilemma, and which means should they keep the Western practice already ingrained in their society, or bring back the Islamic practice of the region golden age. The evolution of Islamic states. Islamic economy began to develop in modern era, and because of this, due to the Islamization of some countries like Pakistan and Iran, as well as the significant and continued wealth travel to the Middle East after oil price rose in the early 1970s. And because of this, the impact is the need of Islamic banking and financial institution rose, and with it need for accounting system which would be appropriate for said institution, namely one which understood the required Sharia compliance objective. Next is the define of Islam modern. Islamic accounting in its modern context can be defined as the accounting process which provides the necessary information to stakeholders, enabling them to ensure that their entity is continuously operating under Islamic or Sharia law, while fulfilling its socio-economic objective. Islamic accounting, unlike conventional accounting, serve a large group of stakeholders as opposed to only serving the interests of a particular group. Therefore, it is concerned with the interests of society as a whole. Another sub of my topic is Islamic accounting versus conventional accounting. Okay, to better understand Islamic accounting, it is necessary to compare it with conventional accounting, which are its similarities and difference. The first difference that we can see between the Islamic and conventional that comparing their balance sheet. The second is similarities. The similarities between these two is they have the same root classification as conventional financial statement, even though that they differ in form, substance, and often same purpose. Other differences between these two is the first one is concept. Islamic accounting having a religious base, while conventional accounting is secular based. Secondly is the law. Okay, for Islamic, they governed by Islamic law, which is derived from the Quran and Sunnah, while conventional accounting is governed by modern commercial law. And thirdly is providing information. Conventional accounting is primarily concerned with presenting information about the efficiency allocation of scarce resource, while Islamic accounting is further concerned with the Untitled Chapter compliance and whether Islamic objectives are being met. For example, is riba, harar, and maisir, that forbidden elements that were not present during economic transaction. And the lastly is accounting information, which is for the Islamic accounting, on the other hand, concern a broader range of shahada, which includes society as a whole, particularly due to the need to ensure a fair distribution of wealth among individuals. Meanwhile, the conventional accounting mainly concerns shareholders and creditors. I would like to present the issue. The main issue is accounting policies. Okay, accounting policies that adopted by Islamic bank in preparation of their financial statement are largely unregulated, and this is why almost every Islamic financial institution has developed its own accounting policy for the various context governing their work, resulting in significant variation. And these differences effectively make it difficult to compare the financial statement of Islamic financial institutions, as well as make them look less incredible in the eye of international market players. So another subtopic is accounting and auditing organization for Islamic financial institution, AAOIFI. The established the Accounting and Auditing Organization for Islamic Financial Institution, AAOIFI, in the early 1919. And the first branch based in the Bahrain, and this supported with 200 institutional members from the 45 different countries. And what is their main objective? Their main objective is prepare and develop Sharia compliant standard for FI pertaining to their accounting, auditing, governance, and ethical activities. For another contribution that they have made is continues to strive to develop new standard for FI, and this supported and suggested by the research is relevant and very useful to FI. Secondly is recently funds is activity from the proceeds is wakaf and charity funds developed from membership fees that each AAOIFI participating institution pay for annual subscription fee, giving, donation, will, and other source.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Amira binti Ahmad Sharif. My metric number is PPB20030. Next, I will talk about prospect of Islamic accounting. As stated in previous sections, contemporary Islamic accounting experience is limited. It will not be more than 3 decades, not less. It has a global impact, proving to be a groundbreaking approach, much to offer. It is obvious that there is a well-developed body of thought on how Islam can be applied to create a practical accounting or financial reporting system. Not only does the Quran emphasize the importance of such records, but historical evidence from previous Islamic empires also support this. Aside from that, there is a verse in the Quran that indirectly refers to accounting requirements, specifically upholding justice in all transactions we conduct. Materiality, for example, is critical to ensuring proper recognition of total financial transactions and business rights and responsibilities of both contracting parties. Some scholars have even suggested that the historical Islamic State's accounting practice, this is because it influenced the Italian double entry accounting system. Islamic accounting is a viable alternative to traditional accounting practice. Both are concerned with the provision of information as well as the definition of how the information is measured, valued, recorded, and ultimately communicated. However, Islamic accounting is concerned with more than just money because it takes a more holistic approach by analyzing transactions in both financial and non-financial terms to ensure that no harm is done to society. For the next slides are about the challenges ahead. The challenges faced by Islamic accounting are unfortunately plenty, namely due to the fact that Western conventional systems have dominated the global scene, making it difficult for Islamic practice to incorporate. Some of major challenges include: firstly, issues pertaining to historical evidence of Islamic accounting. Secondly, lack of knowledge and understanding prejudice. And last but not least, regulatory issues. For the first challenge, we have two aspects to consider. The first is that significant historical evidence from Islamic societies. It has been destroyed over the centuries due to climate change, which make history document preservation difficult, or as a result of conflict. Consider the attack on Baghdad by the Mongols, and more recently, the destruction of Iraq's National Library in 2003. The second issue is the presence of language barriers. Scholarly works written in English have a large influence on modern academia, while evidence of Islamic accounting can be found in Eastern language such as Arabic and Persian. Furthermore, significant evidence has been discovered in written language that are no longer in use today, such as those used during the Ottoman period. This reduced the number of people who can analyze the archives that remain. The second challenge is lack of knowledge and understanding prejudice. Many individuals, unfortunately, know very little about Islam, let alone Islamic economics or accounting. Creed is a fortress and shield in a Muslim, and it is important in opposing evil things because creed is the foundation of Islam. At least, belief will destroy Islam, and misunderstanding about Islam teachings will also destroy Islam. Furthermore, Islam carries a great deal of stigma in the West, meaning anything associated with it carries the same negative connotation. Many of these bias and prejudice are the result of a lack of knowledge and understanding about Islam and Islamic practice, or they are fueled by negative media. The most serious concern is the spread of the misconception that Islamic accounting is only for Muslims. This is not the case, as Islamic accounting only serves as an alternative to conventional accounting, with Islamic accounting taking a more holistic approach. The last challenge is regulatory issues. As we already know, Islamic financial institutions must abide by Sharia. As a result, they require an accounting system that meets this requirement. The difficulty in this lies in the fact that accounting academics not used to it, and they have no idea to incorporate it into the accounting practice. As a result, Islamic banks' accounting policies are now more stringent. Islamic banks are largely unregulated, resulting in a wide range of accounting policies. For example, Islamic financial institutions use at least 6 methods to recognize profit generated from murabah transactions. This difference can be associated with the different views on Sharia, depending on the school of thought followed in the country. Either way, this difference made it difficult to compare the financial statements of Islamic financial institutions, also making them less credible and legit in the eyes of international market players. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you from my friend. So I would like to share my second part, which is number 5, conclusion. The need for the Islamic accounting system is immense, particularly in meeting the socio-economic objective based on Sharia. Islamic financial institutions must abide by. So from this point, I would like to say that Islamic accounting is important, especially in socio-economy, which can based on Sharia. Then, with the arrival of Islamic financial institution, which abide by the Sharia, came the need for the revival and reformation of Islamic accounting. So from this point also, I would like to say that after Islamic financial institution been arrived, many people already want and need to revive and reform the Islamic accounting to be known in many people. Then Islamic accounting has been able to redevelop and grow in the modern economy market, which is greatest development arguably being the establishment of the accounting and auditing organization for Islamic financial institution (IOFI). After Islamic accounting being redeveloped and grow, or want to be redeveloped and grow, the new organization, which is accounting and auditing organization for Islamic financial institution (IOFI), been established to make sure that Islamic accounting been reformed and revived in whole aspect, to make sure that people not been think badly about this system when they involved in this system. Last part is Islamic accounting still face many challenges should overcome to move forward, but its prospectively and ability of an alternative to the conventional Islam system are significant, making it difficult work investigation and contribution to. So this point is, although Islamic accounting face challenge, yes, many challenge, but it's already have bright future and prospect to go far, which been which can be the been reformed and been revived the whole system to make sure that people know and like to use this system in whole aspect, not only one aspect only, and being practical in many country, especially in Islamic country. So that's it for my group. I hope you all can enjoy and forgive us if we all make mistake. And I hope this will be this will be you all a new knowledge about how uh, accounting, conventional and Islamic being important in our life, especially for Islamic, which is Islamic accounting. Uh, Thank you and see you all in next time. Wabillahi taufiq hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.